Welcome back, Paul's Menu Society, episode 129. Streets Need a Body, your weekly Raising Kanan final season recap. Joined as always, I am one of your hosts, Derrick Daniel Ocean. That's super producer Big Money Sturl. That's awesome Amy. We are three members of Paul's Menu Society. Um, where do we begin? This is the end, right? This is the end. We are starting to see the crumbling of the Thomas family, Queens, um, Enterprise, Camelot family, whatever you want to call it. This is the beginning of the end right here.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
like yeah, this is there's no coming back from this. There's no
No.
coming back from this. Um Man, what a fucking episode. They just keep getting better every week. Um so of course they start off recapping the last episode. Um Marvin and Rock panicking. Marvin seems like he's losing trust in Rock. He doesn't really understand the moves she's making. They've
Mhm.
already burned some bridges. Like, remember, Marvin took out Sal Baselli. They tried to take out Stefano. That backfired on them. You can't, if you're going to move against a boss in the mob, you got to make sure that that person is not breathing afterwards.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You just, those are the rules of the game.
You gotta know what you're
If you're,
doing.
if you're a member of the mafia, you have to have a sit down and get the okay to even call that shot.
Yeah.
When you're moving from outside, you got to make sure that that's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, they got some shit on their hands now, and then not only that, you internally beefing, and yeah, it's gonna get ugly for sure.
All right, so Stefano and Kanan have a sit down. Uh Stefano let him know, like, your mom's on some bullshit. This can't continue. I gotta put her down. And Kanan just pretty much, he not even pretty much, he's like, do what you gotta do. He gave the okay, for Stefano to okay a hit on his mom's, which you can see how fractured their relationship is
Right.
based on this. And then obviously when we get to the end of the episode, but I don't know. Let me be very blunt, and I'm sure y'all can say the same thing. There's millions of times my parents have pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? But I
Right.
never would be like, yo, go ahead and pull the clip on my mom. That's not, or my dad,
No.
like never. And I'm sure we all as parents have pissed our kids off, but I don't
Mhm.
think I could ever see Kennedy okay and a hit on me. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
Bella or Vinny or Sean, Savion, whoever. I don't see that for any of us. Um,
We also, though, we don't live in that kind of
that's
lifestyle,
true.
though, either.
That's true. The Thomas Stark family is just absolutely unfucking hinged. Just
Chaos.
absolutely fucking unhinged. And the more I think about it, is like Kanan actually brings a child into this world. Like,
Yeah.
and of course we know what happens. He like, that's the thing I want everybody to remember about Kanan. You killing dudes in the street, that's one thing. You knew Breeze was testing you by saying the task came up short, and Kanan let him know. He's like, he wasn't short. That was a test. You was testing me.
Mhm.
To put your own kid down, that alone, Kanan's a psychopath.
All
Absolute
of them are
psychopath.
psychopaths.
True. But what really, if you look at all the ways that shit went down over power, Ghost tried to burn that man alive. That alone, if you knew nothing else about Kanan, if we had nothing else and you just
Mhm.
concentrated on that one portion where Ghost tried to burn that man alive, that's somebody saying, this guy, what movie was that? This guy, no, it was The Sopranos, where Paulie and Christopher went to get the money from the Russian, and Paulie pissed him off, and then they thought they killed him, and they took him out to the Pine Barrens, and he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
And Tony told him, this guy cannot come back to tell this story. You have
Mhm.
to find him and take him down. Ghost trying
Yeah.
to burn Kanan alive says the same thing. He cannot live to tell this story. He has to go.
Yeah.
This family is fucking crazy.
I feel like at this point, like Kanan isn't just like rebelling against Rock anymore. He's like starting to think like her and be like more like her at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apple don't fall far from the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so Juke still don't have the detective's money. He's making threats. So now we got that situation on our hands.
Yeah.
Pino talked to Stefano. Pino knows about the attempted hit on Stefano. He's pissed because Rock took a swing at the boss. Again, what we said 5 minutes ago. You cannot take a shot at a mob boss.
Right.
Like, and especially if you're in the mob, again, you have to talk, you have to sit, you have to have a sit down, get the okay, or you're going to get in trouble. Goodfellas. Tommy,
Mhm.
with the Billy Bats situation. Now, Tommy actually got killed in real life because Paulie was sleeping with Henry's wife, and Tommy tried to rape her, and Paulie, when Henry's in jail, that whole thing. But you can't just be pulling triggers on made guys and other families. This is worse because Rock, number one, is a woman.
Mhm.
She's a black woman, and we know how Italians, especially in Costa Nostra, feel about black people.
Yeah.
And 2, 3, it was an unsanctioned hit. And Rock's whole thing is, well, you're higher up on the totem pole than he is, so tell him he just got to eat it. And
Right.
Pino wasn't having that because when those dudes take that oath,
Mhm.
they know this is for life. There is no getting out of this. You die. You die as a member of this family. And if you
Yeah.
go to jail, you better keep your fucking mouth shut. Now, Sammy the Bull Gravano changed all of that when he turned witness and all that shit. You know what I'm
It
saying? And
wasn't
then
just Sammy, it's a lot of them niggas, just like
Michael
everybody else in their
Francese,
life.
yeah, Michael Francese is doing fucking Vlad TV interviews and shit like that. So a lot of them did, and that's why I think the mafia doesn't hold the 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 cachet that it once had because a lot of people just don't. Oh, omerta's the first rule, and nobody truly really abides by that anymore.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but Pino was not happy about this, and I totally get it. He like I get it. He's higher up, so Rock's like, well, you're bigger than him, so what does it matter? It just doesn't work like that.
I kind of interject. He's upset about it, but he's also using this because Rock has the balls to also go at old boy. He
Mhm.
wants him clipped anyway.
Yeah.
So he ain't as upset as he's making it seem to be. Cause like he
No,
told Rock, I know he's gonna come at me and I'm gonna get him first. So he really ain't as upset as what he's making it
he
seem
I,
to
I
be.
think I don't think he's upset because he doesn't seem like a lot of them dudes. They do the cheat kiss and all that, how's the family, but in totality, you really don't even like this motherfucker.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We've seen it like, oh yeah, how's the family? And then 10 seconds later, like, yo, I need you to take care of that for me. So it's
Mhm.
all a bunch of posturing and bullshit. Um, it was interesting the conversation that he after he talked to Stefano and then went back to Rock and he was like, you don't fuck with my people. So now we got to deal with him. So Pino 100% is going to try to have Tony Danza put down. So um I think they said this is an 8 episode order, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we only got two
Yeah.
left.
We're getting there. We are getting there. Juke wants to start moving work. Marvin does not want her in the life at all. Juke
Right.
told him, she gave him an ultimatum. Either I'm gonna move this work with you or I'm gonna do it with somebody else. And at that point, all right, here's what we do. And this, you know what this reminds me of when Tasha, like Ghost just didn't want Tariq in the fucking life. Cause Ghost lived the fucking life. And
Mhm.
Tasha was like, all right, Reek, fuck it. I gotta teach you. And I'm just like, damn, this the same fucking thing we went through with Tariq and Ghost and Tasha. Like, Tasha was like, the only way I'm gonna keep you out of jail is if I teach you the fucking life. Cause Ghost don't want to fucking do it. And like Tariq going to Ghost, like, well, I remember teach me the fucking game, Ghost. I'm like, dog, kids that privilege, they don't understand. Ghost did that shit as a necessity because he had no other way out. Tariq was born like you were born with the wealth, like you stood to inherit. Like if the whole truth shit didn't go bad and all that, if Tariq could have just kept his head like straight, then you're gonna be imagine being Tariq, 19, 20 years old, and you running around with your homies, and your pops owns the hottest club in the city. So you get automatic entrance, you get bottle service, you get VIP, you get all the girls you want. Tariq couldn't see that far because Tariq was running up behind Kanan and stuff and looking at
It
Ghost
ain't
and
even.
Tommy like,
It ain't just that. It's you try to shield your kid, and all that's cool. Him having the bottle service and the dad owns the best clubs, but if you were just living that life and then he ventured out into that world on his own, that's one thing. But when your father is Ghost and you bringing bullshit after bullshit back to the house, when your uncle is Tommy and you bringing
yeah,
bullshit after bullshit back to the house, y'all back fucking with Kanan. He was bound for that life. It ain't no different than a kid without anything having it. I'm seeing what y'all doing. I'm seeing how y'all acquiring it. You only showing me this. I don't have no other. You could put me in school. You could put me in all this other shit. I'm gonna go where I'm
and do what I
seeing and what
want.
I'm being taught. Yeah, it's no different.
And I think the difference here is I don't think that Rock, Lou, or Marvin tried to ever hide from Juke or Kanan where the bread was coming from. Because
Right. I don't think they ever did.
they all lived on the same street. Rock and Marvin lived next door to each other, and Lou was right across the street. So Juke and Kanan never saw any of them go punch a clock at anybody's job. Never.
No,
The closest that anybody had to a job is when Lou took over Crown Studio, and then when Lou started
the
basically
bar.
the bar. Yeah, that's it. That's the closest anybody in that show other than Symphony got to punching a clock. So they're not trying to hide it. And also they was hood stars. They were hood superstars. Around the way, Rock definitely gave off like I'm that bitch energy, and like now also Kanan is the son of Def Con, who's a local street legend and shit like that. They were hood superstars. They knew what it was.
Mhm.
They knew
Yeah.
what it was. Juke is very interesting because Juke had an entrepreneurial um spirit because Juke was in on the boost and shit,
Yeah.
stealing off them trucks, getting all that polo gear and selling it and stuff like that, which Juke was super fly. But so was Kanan. Um, but for her to want to get in the game, I'm still waiting. Is Juke gonna be in Power Origins? Do we know?
I have
She
no
has to
idea.
be there at some point because Tommy and Ghost have a reference of her in the original Power. When Kanan was, where's my son, Kay? With the baddest motherfucker ever. Scare some niggas, had more bitches than anybody. And Ghost looked at him shocked, like, Jukebox got my son. And then when he went to Tommy, he was like, you remember Jukebox? You mean you talking about that crazy bitch from back in the day? Yeah. So she has to show up, right? Because there's a
She's
point
got
of
to.
reference for her. Let's check.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got
I'm doing it
confirmation of.
now.
Okay. Glad that somebody's on that.
Yes, Jukebox does appear in Power Origins. Jukebox Thomas in the prequel series, which follows the early days of Ghost, Street Legend.
Mm-hmm.
For a quick look, yeah, so she does appear in Power Origins.
Okay. So do we think we gonna see Juke's ultimate crash here before this season ends, or are we gonna see it more in Power Origins?
It's gonna be based more around in Power Origins. There's only 2 episodes left, so a lot of shit is gonna come to head these next 2 episodes. So I don't.
Mm,
You're gonna see more of the crash out of probably Marvin.
actually, no, we got 3 episodes. It's 8. We have 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, so that was
I love how much Marvin's grown since the first
Yeah, but
season.
he really has. But the thing is,
He's
what
gonna
makes
crash.
what what Ace said in Paid in Full. The thing about the game, it never stops. It don't care if you're
Mhm.
tired, if you hurt, None of that. The game never stops. And they're hustlers.
Yeah.
They are hustlers. They're killers. They hustlers. They ran 40. They ran Baisley. Like, we know this is all a show, but the Supreme Team was real. You listen to Nas raps, he talks about what was going on over at 40 and Baisley. You listen to early 50 Cent, he talks about what was going on Southside Jamaica, Queens. Like, this is real. This
Mhm.
is real. We know it's a dramatization and these are all actors, but niggas got a lot of money. The funny thing is what they say, Brooklyn, Queens is always faking it, Brooklyn's always taking it. Bronx keeps creating it. Brooklyn keeps on taking it, and Queens is always faking it. But I've heard of more niggas getting money out of Queens than damn near any other borough when they talk about the way. Come on, Fat Cat, Cream.
Harlem
Harlem
has
got
them beat.
money.
Harlem
Harlem
has
got
them beat by
money.
far. By far.
You
It's not even
think
close.
so?
I literally study this is one thing. I study the real, like I have hours upon hours of documentary. Harlem's not even close. It's Harlem by far. It's not even close.
You got Rich and AZ. Who else really came out of Harlem?
You got Rich, AZ, you got
They were getting money
Fritz.
in Harlem. Don't get it confused because Dapper Dan
Fritz
made his
during this
fortune.
era here, 80% of these people was getting their dope from a guy named Fritz. He was the one supplying AZ, Alpo. He supplied damn near all of New York. Then that ain't including Frank Lucas. That ain't including Frank
Okay,
Matthews.
well, I'm saying Frank Lucas would be the generation prior to them. So
Mhm.
I guess
Even
I get what you're saying, though.
this 80s generation still
Well, you
is
know
still
what? You're right, because all culture really comes from Harlem. There's a
mhm.
reason they call it the Harlem Renaissance. Langston Hughes, the Apollo, the Cotton Club, all of that, Cab Calloway, all culture comes from Harlem. And there was probably more dope moved in Harlem per capita
Yeah.
because Langston Hughes and them were getting high on heroin, like when he was like composing at Duke Ellington and all these people. So I will give you that. I will give you that. Next to that, I know niggas hustled in Brooklyn. I know niggas hustled in the
Yeah, no,
Bronx.
it's Queens is next.
Queens is there. Queens is there. Like when they say Queens get the money, they really mean Queens get the money. So again, we know these are characters, but that's their lineage. Like Symphony could have taught Kanan like all types of shit. It didn't matter. Kanan was still from fucking Southside Jamaica, Queens. Just like 50 still from Southside Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So you were more than likely going to be a dope boy, whether you wanted to or not. Whether you wanted to or not. And to your point, Marvin has grown. Like when he used to be
Mhm.
like, that whole thing.
Yeah.
We saw the growth and the maturity in Marvin and his relationship with that little girl, because we're gonna get to that in a second.
Mhm.
Um, the way that, when Juke's mom came back around and all that shit, Marvin handled all of that very, very well.
It's
But
crazy because
Marvin,
he went from being the least reliable to now being one of the most reliable Thomases.
absolutely. And that's why it's gonna be so sad when Marvin meets his demise.
Yeah.
Now I've been putting stuff in the group chat and sending y'all stuff. The more I think about it, and then somebody actually took the quote from the original Power. Marvin didn't get addicted to crack. Marvin went to jail. He said he had one uncle in jail for life. So I'm guessing this
Oh,
is,
okay.
yes, because so everybody keeps pointing out, I've seen so much, like this episode right here. This is the one that touched everybody. I know everybody been on it, but on every social media platform I've been on, they've been like, this is what's going to happen to Marvin. This is Kanan did this. Nope. We gonna get to it, but everybody is talking about that ass beating that Marvin served Kanan. Like, do you freeze framing when Kanan opened the door? Marvin had that motherfucker cocked back, ready to go. Somebody said Marvin cocked that shit back to season 1 to stick Kanan ass in the face. So
If Juke wouldn't have been there, he'd have killed him.
he'd have killed him. He'd have killed him. 100%. If Juke, and that's another conversation. Everybody's like, Juke stopped Marvin from killing Kanan, and then Kanan ends up killing Juke in the OG Power. So then people are like, well, what the fuck happened between Kanan and Juke for Kanan to kill Juke later on in Power? And if some people was like, well, Kanan really loved Tariq, he looked at him like a son. more as opposed to Sean, who was his actual son.
That's a fact.
And then you know what? 100% because when Juke was like, tell him who you really are. He was like, I'm Kanan Stark. I'm a no good motherfucker. He was, I ain't never, I did it for the money. He really did. Like anybody else, Kanan would have just shot them and been like, whatever. He wouldn't have gave no explanation. So I do think that
Yeah.
he really did view Tariq as his son. Um, Kanan had some issues getting the work from Bree's guy Jorge. Kanan called Breeze on the celly. Breeze pulls up. Dude asks where Taz was. Breeze says he's unavailable, just like you about to be. And then Kanan and Breeze had a stomp party on bro fucking head. These two niggas here together are absolutely diabolical. The body count that look, I know we talked about it, and that's what sparked our power draft. Marvin put down a lot of fucking people. Kanan and Breeze and Power Origins and Ghost, I think that body count is going to be insane compared to what we saw here in Raising Kanan. I think that body count is going through the fucking roof. Because
That
remember,
makes sense.
Breeze is the one who gave Ghost the nickname.
Mhm.
Tommy told, what's the girl that Tommy got pregnant? Heidi? Was
I
it
don't remember.
Heidi?
Nah, it wasn't Heidi. It wasn't Heidi. But I know you're talking about blonde hair that he ended up having to
No,
kill.
the redhead. She was a redhead.
He ended up killing her, right?
Yeah, he choked her because he didn't know that she was pregnant.
Pregnant, yeah. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He said, he was like, she was like, why the fuck do they call him Breeze? He was like, it was a kid. No, Ghost. He's like, we knew this kid named Breeze, and he gave him the nickname because he said he could appear and disappear as if he were never there, like a ghost. That body count is going through the fucking roof. We
Yeah.
might have to keep a tally once we get to Power Origins, because we gonna have to take a tally when Raising Kanan ends, and then write that number down and then revisit it, because I think that body count is going through the fucking roof. I just, the way, you remember on fucking Don't Be a Menace where they
When they was
jumped the nigga
stomping old boy.
and they was doing the ring around the Rosie stumping on him.
That's how they was doing old boy.
Kanan and Breeze was going nuts. I was like, yo, all right, this
Breeze
is enough,
had on
bro.
either a boot or a hard bottom or something. Them motherfuckers.
They was going crazy on boy.
The heel of that motherfucking shoe was crazy. Yeah, damn.
Breeze and Kanan went nuts. That was, I was like, part of me, I was like, I feel bad for bro. Like, this is just a bit much. It's in my So Rock is having an issue with Joaquin. Obviously, word has got around that her and Marvin try to take Stefano out. Joaquin don't seem to want to fuck with Rock, and at this point, I get it. When you mess with the Italians and you order unsanctioned hits and shit like that, they don't care. That's a body count that's gonna go up. They're going to send messages.
Yeah.
They're going to send messages. So Joaquin's like, I don't really know if I want to be fucking with you right now. You kind of, you a little too fucking hot. So I'm like, okay,
the messages seem to always be sent to the supplier. So, yeah,
which we'll get there in a second.
absolutely.
Marvin takes the little girl out for the ice cream, and she brings up the police again. So I've seen many think pieces from different content creators. They all believe this is where Marvin ends up in jail. And some people even believe the little girl might be wearing a wire.
Ooh.
Now,
Fair.
Here's the thing. Marvin actually looked at her like his niece, which was
Yeah.
that was the hardest part about Marvin going to anger management, because him and that dude couldn't fucking stand each other at first. And then they build this friendship, and Marvin looks at those kids like his actual nieces. Well, fuck.
Especially after he was going over there and old boy was getting high again and all of that shit. Yeah.
Then Marvin found out the dude was working with the cops and shit. Marvin could have turned his back right then and there. And I think this is what gets Marvin locked up. But there's a caveat to that. There's a caveat to that, and it comes in Kanan's narration at the end. He was like, an ass whooping like that, you don't forget. You remember it, you get stronger, and then you come back. So Lou's already gone. We all kind of think Rock is going to get taken out. It's 50-50. Marvin's either going to rot in prison for the rest of his life or Kane is going to take him out. I feel like they keep bringing that girl around and they keep doing a recap about Marvin telling her to tell him it was a white man with a bunch of tattoos. So I'm of the mind that I think that Marvin is going to rot in prison for the rest of his life so they could tie back to the OG power where Kanan said he had an uncle in jail for life. But
Hmm.
a lot of people was like, well, DEFCON's brother is in prison for life, so that could be who he's talking about. We don't know. But they keep bringing that girl around, which tells you that story hasn't paid off yet.
Right.
They wouldn't be talking about DEF CON because they barely reference him as really Kanan's uncle. So they're talking about Marvin. I got an uncle dead and an
And an
uncle in
uncle in
jail for
jail.
life.
So we all of it, do we all believe? I believe that the little girl, that situation is going to get Marvin sent away.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that
going to be
that makes the
somehow.
most sense for sure.
I, I don't know if it's going to be she's wearing a wire, but I do know that they are trying to turn her against Marvin because they clearly said she likes this family and she doesn't want to leave this family. So I'll try to turn it up or whatever. So
I could see. So the thing about it, I was like, I don't think she's wearing a wire. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I could see them putting a wire on her because, again, Marvin looks at her like a niece for real. Marvin
Mhm.
wouldn't pat that girl down to see or make her like she's a little girl too, and Marvin's not a creep. So you're
Right.
not gonna tell her, yo, strip, I want to see if you wearing a wire. Marvin wouldn't do that. So I could see it. I could see them possibly planning a wire on her. Do I think that's what's happening? Not exactly. But I do think she is the linchpin for Marvin ending up in prison for the rest of his life. I do think that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's looking increasingly more and more like that with every episode where she pops up. Um, Kanan and Breeze have lunch at the diner. So this is where we get some more exposition on the whole DEF CON situation. Kanan and Breeze have lunch at the diner. Breeze is cutting Kanan in on something under the table. Snaps and Pops have no idea about. Kanan and Breeze are really kind of leaning into this brother shit. So then they skip to Pino goes to Stefano's house uninvited. I thought it was Tony and Carmela's house from The Sopranos. Um, Stefano flat out tells Pino, which he didn't have to tell him. Pino knew. Stefano tells him to call for the hit on because Pino's like, I came to check on you, see if you were okay. He was like, the call came from inside your house. He knows it was Rock. Everybody knows it was fucking Rock at this point. Um, Pino was like, well, I don't think. And I talked to Raquel and she told me she had nothing to do with it. But I'm letting you know, Stefano, if you try some shit, you're fucking with my money and I'm not going to have that. So now we got another war brewing on our hands. So we had Sal, who Unique was tied to. Then Tony Danza came into the plot and started working with Rock and Marvin and them. Then did the other dude take over for Sal after Marvin killed him? The one who poked Tony Danza up?
hmm
So we've just like while we got this inner turmoil amongst crews in Queens fighting for position in Queens, we also got this Italian war that's still going on as well. This shit is about to get really fucking bloody. If it comes down to it, who do y'all got making it out? Sal or Pino?
Mm.
it's gonna. Well, if Rock, if we all under the impression, obviously Rock doesn't make it out of the past 3 episodes, it's probably gonna be Sal.
Oh, not
Because to
Sal.
get
I'm
to
sorry.
Pino,
Sal's been dead. Stefano. I'm sorry. Tony Danza.
Stefano, yeah,
Stefano.
that's what I meant. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Stefano making it out because to get to Pino, you're gonna have to go through Rock, and if Rock doesn't make it out, yeah,
Well, to get to Rock, you gonna have to go through Pino. Technically, based on what he said, he was like, "I'm making money with you. Nobody fucks with my money." He came back after he met with Stefano. He told Rock that.
I'm almost 100% sure one of the Italians die before Rock does.
Yeah, for sure.
I got one of the Italians dying if in the next episode, if not the second to the last. So however it's gonna go, one of them are gone in the next 2 episodes. Because
I can't
obviously,
figure. I really
obviously
can't
Rock is
figure
the
out.
climax.
Yeah, I can't figure out which one of them is gonna be though. I can't say if it's Joey
Same.
Pants or Tony Danza. I'm really like 50-50. Like there's way more exposition and character building with Tony Danza's character Stefano, and Pino is like very extremely new.
So just look at it
But
this way.
everybody's got to go. We don't.
Yeah.
The only two people we know survive for sure are Kanan and Jude. Unless
Right.
they throw Tommy and Ghost in the very last episode and it's like, okay, well, Tommy and Ghost survive. But
So look at it this way. At the end of the day, Rock has to go. Who do we think kills Rock?
Stefano
Kanan.
or Kanan.
Kanan
Kanan
ain't
for
killing
sure,
his
I
mom.
think. You don't think so?
You know, I have a wild
He
card.
got so close to doing it already. Like I don't see
It's
why he
either
wouldn't.
Breeze is gonna kill her.
Well,
Or
okay, so let's get to
Okay.
that. Let's get to that.
Okay.
So we go back to the diner.
Okay.
Kanan asked Breeze how he was related. And he was like, so I had it wrong. I thought that Pops, which is the girl, which is still fucking weird to me. I thought Pops and Breeze's mom were sisters. Turns out Snaps, the dude, is Breeze's uncle, his mom's brother. So then Kanan asked him, well, where the fuck did this Frady name come from? And he was like, my mom messed with a nigga named Frady after DEF CON, and she gave me that name. Now, a lot of people was like, this don't make sense. You can't do that. I'm here to tell you niggas you can, and most people do.
Yeah.
I've said this before. My mother hated her biological father. I never met the man in my life. For what I was told, he came by the house when I was like 3 or something like that and didn't remember it. And he asked to even see me and my brother, and my mother was like, no. Because my grandfather, the man who was a part of my life, is the man who raised her. My parents split when I was 4. I know my father's last name. I don't have it, nor does my brother. His last name is Roby. That is not my last name. Women do that all the time. They give the name that they choose to give. My mother hated her father, but I carry his name, and so does my brother, and so does my daughter. So the Frady thing, everybody's like, that doesn't make sense. You can't do that. I'm here to tell you niggas, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. You choose the name you put on that birth certificate.
Yeah, because they don't ask you like, oh, do you like they don't ask you what like, oh, are you putting whatever name? They're just like, put whatever name you want.
Yeah, fuck out. Like, it was like, what name? What is her last name gonna be? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Her last name is just, like, we're not playing this game. I don't, what the fuck? Are you crazy? We're not doing this. Fuck out of here. So that I'm glad that they gave us that scene to break it down, because I know that a lot of people were confused and like still don't know if Breeze is lying to this nigga trying to get in good with Kanan to snake him, or what the fuck was going on. A lot of clips from Power, OG Power, are coming up. So the Jeopardy thing, I remember Sterl was watching. He was texting. What'd you say? He was like, "They finally showed us Jeopardy." We all, any Power fan knows this is to build into the legend of Breeze. Breeze always. Kanan told Tariq, Breeze always watched Jeopardy at 7:00. And then when asked, did he get scared? And he was like, Tariq asked him, did he get scared? He was like, Breeze didn't have time to get scared. Because Ghost, and like you said, Ghost. The nigga was in and out. The apartment shows up in OG Power. When Kanan beat up that old lady and killed her, he did that. That's why, like, everybody's like, why the fuck is Kanan taking Tariq to this random ass apartment? That was Breeze's apartment. That lady moved in. Kanan caught her right outside her door, acting like he wanted to help her take groceries in or something like that, stuck her ass, and then killed her so he could have that apartment. So this Kanan and Breeze relationship is going to be a lot deeper than we think, because for him to do that to the old lady just so he can get that apartment had some sort of sentimental value to him.
That's where they used to have their meetings and shit at. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's not on no brother shit, because Kanan flat out knows DEF CON is not his father. He knows because he had the fucking paternity test. So, Yeah, they talk about that whole situation. And then Breeze tells Kanan, I don't remember this. I don't know if this is something they're just adding in. Breeze tells Kanan it was Rock that killed Defcon. Does anybody remember that from season 1 or anything like that?
Yes, I remember that now. Yeah.
I know Rock took over when Defcon went to jail because there was another dude. There was the dude High Post. I remember hearing about High Post. I think High Post came after Defcon went to jail, but we all know Defcon was gay. Did
Yeah,
Rock kill
the
High
cop,
Post or kill Defcon?
he killed Defcon because the Kanan's real dad, the cop, he had a conversation with Rock about it, and they talked about she was saying that she killed Defcon.
She said that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says in Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, it is not explicitly confirmed that Rock killed Defcon, but it is strongly implied as an unresolved mystery. While Defcon had already died before the timeline of the series began, the character Breeze claims that Rock had Defcon killed and stole his drug business. However, this version of events is heavily debated among characters and fans. Others, like Snaps and Pop, suspect Rock merely set Defcon up to take the fall and take over, a la Tasha and Ghost for Kanan. Because the true details of his death remain shrouded in conflicting stories, it is currently unknown exactly or how or by whose hands Defcon was killed.
I'm
Um,
almost 100% sure she either alluded to it or um, kind of said it when she was talking to old boy. So
okay, so this is a Reddit thread from 2 days ago when the episode aired. This person says, I don't think Rock had Defcon killed. Defcon was a major boss when he went to prison, and Rock was just his girlfriend that he was putting on. Ain't no way she had the connections to have him hid in prison. She was still a youngin' in the game. Snaps and Pop, though, they had money, power, and connections to get it done. See, this is the part that gets interesting. Snaps and Pop talk about Defcon with some sort of reverence, but they still understood that he probably, based on what we're told, Defcon was controlling most of the drug trade in Queens at that time. So that means he stood in Snaps and Pop's way. So I could see Snaps and Pop being the one who actually were behind it. Somebody said, the first comment says, since Breeze said it, then we know it Snaps and Pops now. Someone says Snaps and Pops are too dirty and everything else to be perfectly clean in this. They seem to thrive off of turning everyone against each other. I wouldn't be
that's a
surprised if this
fact.
was more of that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Someone said, I wouldn't put it past Rock. It's clear from her dialogue she still does have love for Defcon. Meanwhile, Breeze is unreliable and was most likely lied to by Snaps and Pop, who deeply despise Rock, which we also know to be true. Also, like you said, she was simply too young and new to have those connections, while we already know the scope of Snaps and Pop's control. I agree, Rock could have been the reason Defcon ended up in prison, but Snaps and Pops would have had the money and connections to make sure he never got out for their own business reasons. If that's what happened, Breeze blaming Rock still makes sense because in his mind, she's the one who started it all. Snaps and Pops could have fed this into a lie into Breeze from the young. The more I read that, the more I think the Snaps and Pop were behind it. The more I think that they told him it was Rock, just like they told Kanan that Rock hired the cops to put Famous down. It makes more sense that it was Snaps and Pop than it was, but that's not going to stop Breeze from putting a bullet in Rock.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
not going to. That's not going to
Because at
stop
the end
Breeze.
of the day, Kanan just took a hellified ass whooping. In Breeze's eyes, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. Just behind Breeze's character, because I would
Yeah,
imagine.
if you see the look ahead to next week's episode or this week's episode, by the time y'all hear this, Breeze basically says like, "Yo, somebody got to answer for this. This got us looking weak out here in the streets." Like the way anybody see the clip?
I didn't.
Oh my God, Kanan looked terrible. Like I'm talking about Marvin gave him a Passion of the Christ ass whooping. He looks bad, bro.
Yeah, I need to look at that.
So yeah, somebody's got to answer for that. I think that Breeze puts a bullet in Rock. It would be interesting remember at the end of OG Power where they had that flashback that showed young Ghost and young Tommy and young Angela. It wouldn't make sense, but I would still like to see something. When Kanan got out, he was like, I went to see my moms and then I came straight here. What if they get 50 to go put some flowers on a grave in a cemetery and then have Rock headstone or something like that? Now, the only thing is it wouldn't make sense because of Rock and Kanan's relationship unless Kanan finds out that Snaps and Pop lied and they was behind everything. Because we also agree, we know they're not
They gotta go.
surviving.
Yeah, they gotta go.
They have to go. So if Kanan finds out that Snaps and Pops basically orchestrated everything, like he has no real ties to DEF CON.
And
But
please believe at some point, whenever they introduce Ghost and Tommy, they're gonna have to have some big initiation to come into this situation. So it's not gonna be just we just popped up and now y'all my mans. For
yeah,
them to
it
be
don't work
tight,
like that. It don't
they're
work
gonna
like
have
that.
to do some. They're gonna have to put in some work.
Yeah. You think? Okay, so we got 3 episodes left. Do y'all? Where are you at? Do you think we see Ghost and Tommy before this is over?
Yeah, you're gonna see them about sometime in the last episode, probably.
Last episode, Ames,
It's,
what you
yeah,
got?
That
it's
makes
not
sense.
gonna
Yeah,
be a.
last episode.
It's
I
not gonna
say
be a
the
big
pin.
build up.
No.
I say we see them for the first time in the penultimate episode, maybe, and then whatever happens for them to be down with Kanan and Breeze, we start to see a little of that in the last episode. I think if I was writing it or producing it, that's what I would do. I don't know if they're going to do
That
it
makes
that way,
sense.
but
Leaving it out at like a cliffhanger, letting them know, like,
yeah,
okay, something new's happening in this last
Because they
episode. That
probably
makes
come in
sense.
just on the simple fact that Kanan ass is in the hospital.
Yeah.
who recruited them? Was it Breeze or Kanan who recruited them?
I'm almost 100% sure it would have been Breeze.
Breeze gave Ghost the nickname, but I could have sworn it was the way Tommy talked. Well, Breeze is gone, so they would only have reverence for Kanan because Breeze was gone. And actually, see, the Breeze kill has got to be that's got to be done correctly as well, because we heard that Breeze didn't have time to get scared, so it made it seem like Ghost crept up behind him and got him. But Tommy
Shot him
was
through the
like,
window.
okay, then Tommy said, remember, what did Tom that he was asking him something, and he was like, the same reason two kids looked Breeze in the face and then shot him. But then Ghost also says, when Ghost told Tariq about it, he was like, I gave Breeze one last chance. He was like, the thing Kanan didn't tell you is I gave Breeze one last chance. And he was like, Breeze, I had to take Breeze out because he would have affected our lives too much. He was like, Breeze's way of thinking was standing in the way of our future, so I had to take him out. So whenever we get to the point of Breeze being taken down, I don't know, like, whose story do we go with? Whose version is the version that we see?
True.
It's probably gonna be Ghost.
Does Tom? So see, that's the thing. Ghost shot him through the window, but Tommy said they looked him in the eyes. This is this is the problem.
Looking him through
When
the
you
window
write,
don't mean that you didn't shoot him in the eyes. He probably seen him. He probably seen him, and there probably was eye contact, and he shot him
Through the window.
through the window.
could be. The problem is when they wrote the OG Power, I don't think they intended to do any prequels. I don't think this prequel was
sense.
ever in the plan.
Yeah.
Like when
So yeah,
when
certain
George,
shit could be off. You
yeah,
can't
when
literally tie everything together.
George Lucas actually wrote the Skywalker saga as one big thing, and then he had to break it up.
Yeah.
Portions of his original script and ideas are still present in the prequels. He just changed names and shit like that and changed the name of planets, but it essentially happens the way he intended on it happening. This, again, though, I don't think there was an intention to make a prequel to Power. I think the popularity of and also, let's keep it a buck. I think 50 is a brilliant businessman, but he irks the shit out of my soul. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that 50 has not kept the lights on over his stars.
Right.
Like, let's keep it a buck. The BMF documentary by itself, all these different versions of Power, and the BMF TV show. 50 kept the lights on over there.
He about to do a paid in full.
Yeah, so he kept and who else, you know what I'm saying? He kept the lights on over his stars. He 100% kept the lights on over his stars, and that led to them reaching out. That Magic City documentary, Jermaine Dupri, not only Jermaine Dupri produced it, but Drake and Future produced it as well. So stars started to understand who their target audience was as a result of Power. If
Mm.
not for Power, I don't know if Stars is still here at this point.
No, absolutely not.
So, I want to see how it plays out. And
Yeah.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I don't know how many seasons of Power Origins we're going to have. The only thing I know about Power Origins is this. We have to see the Breeze kill, and we have to see Sean's birth, because we're not getting Sean's birth in the next 3 episodes. That's not
Right.
happening.
No.
So we have to see the Breeze kill. We have to see Jukebox's, twist that sends her off into what she did, Sean's birth, and I feel like the end of Power Origins should be Tasha and Ghost setting Kanan up to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it should end.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That's the way it should end. Where was I? Juke hits up her old homeboy, the booster, to bring him into the fold. Then she hits up that girl she was fucking around with. So Juke is assembling her own little crew. Marvin and Flossie having drinks. She wants to make sure the product isn't bad. So here we go. I'm glad we got this so we can finally put this whole thing to bed about Tony D being Flossie's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Flossie explained how her daughter died. Now, there is a content creator, of course. It's like, yeah, not Tony D's daughter, Tony D's mother. But Tony D mentions that the guy who was in the car accident with her daughter, remember, he survived. Not a scratch on him. Her daughter died instantly, right? Flossie
Mm-hmm.
says. The guy then, quote unquote, died later. But we know what that really was. It was a sanctioned hit. Like, my daughter's dead because of you, so you got to go.
Yeah, they pushed him off
Um,
on the train tracks or whatever she said.
so there was at some point, I didn't catch this. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that there was a dentist. She called him a dentist or whatever, this, that, and the third. The dude that Tony D was shacking up with in upstate New York when she got killed was also a dentist. So some people believe that that's where the Flossie Tony D connection is. She's not her daughter, but they were fucking around with the same guy. I
Hmm.
don't know. I think it's a lot of people just trying to use anything they can to tie the OG Power or tie season 1 to this. I think that Tony D was basically a nondescript character. She was just used as a plot device to move season 1 along. I don't think she really has any parts in this season. And the reason I feel like that is because we got way more exposition on Flossie's backstory, about her dad always wanted her to be a boy, and her dad having connections not only with Pino but Stefano as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tony D was just a pretty face, honestly. She was never meant to, like, she didn't have any gravitas or anything like that. She was never been like, Symphony has more exposition than Tony D had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Symphony was actually part of Rock's life, and when Rock had to get Kanan out of New York, it was Symphony who drove him to the South for the summer. So Tony D, I think she was just a vehicle to move the plot along. I don't think that we need to tie her to Flossie. If it turns out she is somehow tied to Flossie, fine, so be it. I just don't think it's necessary, and I don't think that's what it is. I think they just found 2 attractive white women and were like, they've got to be related. That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting from this.
2 blonde white
Um,
women.
Right.
yeah. So Kanan goes to meet up with the dudes that Taz fucked up. Kanan let him know they're working for him now. Stefano asks Breeze what he knows about Rock. Breeze asks Stefano why the concern over Rock if they are working in Queens and she's in Manhattan. Stefano tells him that Rock tried to have him killed, and this all ends with her dead. So we all have Rock dying either way. The question is, whose bullet is it that takes Rock out? Because if Snaps and Pop lied to Breeze and he thinks that Def Con really is his father, which the crazy thing is, I have to at least applaud Snaps and Pop. because they've played everybody like marionettes, like fucking
Yeah.
Pinocchio, like them NSYNC dolls when they did Bye 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 and No Strings Attached. Like
Yeah.
they're playing everybody like marionettes. They got Breeze believing that Def Con is his father when we all know that Def Con is gay.
Right.
They got Kanan believing that Rock not only had the cops kill Famous, but that Rock pulled the trigger on Crystal, which it didn't look good that Crystal took a bus out to Rock's house and that was the last time anybody saw her. I'm with Kanan on that. If she pop up dead and the last time anybody saw her was with you, then I would probably think you killed her too. I'm with
Yeah.
him on that. This whole fucking time, Marvin up there grieving, Marvin looking for Neek. How many bodies did Marvin put down looking for Neek?
So many. I didn't even count. There was
He
just
took
so
out that
many.
whole bar. He took out the fat dude, and it was like, what, 3 more people in that fucking bar?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then who else? He got somebody else too looking for Neek. Marvin has at least five or six kills this season trying to catch up with Neek because he thinks Neek put Lou down.
Yeah.
Snaps and Pops are playing everybody. They're playing absolutely everybody. They have to go, but you have to give them credit for the way they orchestrated all of this. They put Kanan next to Ronnie. Then Ronnie's gone. They put Kanan next to Unique and Breeze. They've had Stefano in the room. Stefano said he's done, but I still want my piece of the pie. Snaps and Pops are playing this masterfully, but they're going to slip up somewhere.
Mhm.
Does anybody tell Breeze that Def Con is gay? Or does Breeze still, do we believe that comes out?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because at the end of the day, I don't see Kanan, once he finds out that it snaps and pop, I think he goes on his own and sets up Snap and Pop and don't even involve him and try to make it seem like somebody else did it. I
Mhm.
don't even think he involves Breeze.
I could see that. But I could also see Breeze wilding the fuck out.
He gonna do that regardless. He gonna do that with
Oh, that clip from next week? I'm talking about this nigga got a military issue M16 going crazy. Like, it is going to be very, very interesting what we see on this upcoming episode. I promise you that. Where are we at? Oh yeah. Jarita tells Kanan about the dude that OD'd from the bad work. Marvin gives the detective the rest of the money. Juke wants to know what happened with Famous. The detective tells her that's a cold case. That case is not done. They're going to find out who pulled the call, who made that call for Famous to go.
that's how they
And
find
again,
that's how Kanan finds out that
it was Snaps and Pop.
it was Snaps and Pop.
Yeah. But how do Breeze, I'm sorry, how do Kanan and Juke resolve this? Because we gonna get there in a second. I just want to save that for last because that was a hell of a way to end that fucking episode. Pino lets Rock know that Stefano knows it was Rock who put the hit out. Pino knows Stefano is gonna gun for him soon. He says he'll get to Stefano before he gets to him. Pino knows Kanan is working with Stefano, who wants to kill Rock. We've already talked about that again. Stefano and Flossie meet. Stefano and Flossie's father worked together in the past. Stefano tells Flossie that Rock has a cancer, which we've talked about. Then we get to the moment, Breeze in the apartment watching Jeopardy. Jarita having second thoughts. What do we make of this? Jarita left Kanan to go meet with a client that night. He wanted her to play, what was it, schoolgirl or office secretary or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
He gave her that outfit to go put on, and she went in the bathroom and looked in the mirror and said she couldn't. She basically said to herself, I can't do this shit anymore.
She was
And
already doing the shit out of necessity. So now that she feels like she has Kanan and someone actually
Kanan,
cares about her,
yep,
this ain't for her. She's gonna quit.
yeah.
Or at least try
Flossie
to.
though. Flossie's line, she was like, what did she say? My head wasn't in it or something like that. And
Yeah, she
Flossie
said,
was
"We
like,
ain't
"We're not
selling
se
your head, we
your
selling your
mind, we
ass,
sell
baby."
your ass." That everybody went crazy over that fucking line. That's
Yeah.
one of the most quoted lines I've seen on social media this weekend. Flossie a real one, man. Like, baby girl, nobody's here to talk to you. Like, no, I'm sure there's some of your clients that talk to you because they probably are lacking companionship or something like that, but I'm not selling your brain. I'm selling your ass. I don't know how you haven't figured that out by now. And you
You're right.
actually you have figured it out because you literally told Kanan, I'm a hoe. You pay me to fuck you. Why are you asking me all this personal stuff? So Jarita knows what it is, but like Sturl said, Kanan showed that he was willing to drop money on her, and now she knows she's got Kanan in the bag, basically. Jarita looks at a pregnancy test by the penultimate episode. That's my guess.
Yeah, once she figures out she's pregnant, all that other shit is over with.
Yeah, I think that the pregnancy scare comes in before raising Kanan ends. I don't think we actually see Sean born to Power Origins, obviously, because they can't do that this quick. It's like that would be moving way too fucking fast. But I do believe we see a pregnancy test because we've already seen one from Crystal. Crystal got pregnant and Kanan made her have an abortion. So
Yeah,
this one's coming around the bend. How old was Sean in the OG Power? 19 or 20?
yeah.
I think that's about. Let's see. I know that fucking Power Wikipedia has it. What year was Sean Stark born? Um, 1995. They're in 93 or 94 or something like that. Let's see. What year does the final season of Raising Kanan begin? No, damn it. I know what day it debuted. 93. It takes place primarily during 93. So maybe we don't see her get pregnant now. We see her get pregnant in Power Origins, I guess. All right, so this is where shit starts to really start to go off the fucking rails. Breeze, we really starting to see Breeze be Breeze. Breeze wanted to take out Joaquin. Kanan's like, I'm here. He was like, we going to work. He was like, nigga, I don't know what the fuck we doing. They go to Breeze specifically goes to take out Joaquin. Joaquin comes out. Breeze points the barrel at him and he sees it in the mirror and says, the same thing will happen to you someday. And Breeze's response was, I'm going to deserve it just like you. And that's an immediate callback to Ghost killing Breeze. Nobody can tell me any different.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody, Breeze ultimately knew what they tell you, yo, ain't no love in this game.
Death
There's
or in
really
jail
only,
is,
yeah,
yeah.
death or in jail. Yeah. It's like for every AZ Faison, it's a million Rich Porters out there. You know what I mean? For every Freeway Ricky Ross, fuck, who's another drug dealer that got killed? Fuck.
Shit, every one of them, damn near.
Yeah, for everyone that made it, that got out of the game and with their life, there's a million others who didn't. So whoever wrote that fucking line, that was brilliant. The same thing's gonna happen to you one day, and he's like, I'm gonna deserve it just like you.
Because people don't even realize, like, Unique's character, all of these people, most of these people are based around real
Based
people.
on, yep, who got, and
Unique
Neek
was
was
a,
the one who got out the life.
yeah, and he was in real life, he was a real big drug dealer in Harlem though, not Queens. Is a real Unique. He's the one that came with the hey yo. All right. He's the one that started that saying. You can look him
Oh
up.
shit, okay.
He ended up doing like 40 years. He's out now. He's doing all kind of interviews and shit. He just got out within the past probably 2-3 years, maybe. But yeah, he's a real character.
That's crazy. Um, the detective starts asking other detectives about Famous's case. The detective tells him the feds tried to connect Famous to Howard. Again, we knew they weren't done with Detective Howard. Rather, he's been dead for what, 2 seasons now? Yeah,
Yeah.
because Neek walked in at the end of that episode, and then Neek was in all of last season, the beginning of this season. So Howard's been dead for 2 seasons, but that also makes sense why we got that flashback to recap what had happened before. They are not done with that. Just like I keep telling people, they keep showing the Marvin with the little girl. That
Yeah.
is telling you something. They're building to something. Um, so this is where shit goes off the rails for real. Rock wants Marvin to snatch up one of Kanan's bike boys. Marvin did not want to do it. Let's make that very clear. Rock knows Kanan isn't done with her, and he tells him, I know my son. I know Kanan's not done with me. This shit is a absolute civil fucking war. This is a civil war between Kanan and Breeze and Rock and Marvin. And then you also got Stefano on one side and Pino on one fucking side. And you got Flossie here with her girls. And you got Juke who want to get in the game. They are going to tear this fucking city apart. But this is really what the fuck it was like during the 80s and 90s. Like, they don't just wake up and decide they want to make movies about the drug trade. New Jack City, they weren't called the actual CMB, but that shit is based on some niggas that was really running around doing shit like that. American Gangster, while a lot of it was changed, Frank Lucas really was importing heroin of the highest grade into the United States of America. All this shit, art imitates life. They tore New York
For a fact.
City the fuck apart.
Yeah.
It took like, as much as I hate Giuliani, he did clean New York up. They tore that city the fuck apart.
Just like that shit was real. It was a real thing when they did the movie with Steven Seagal where he was in New York fighting them Jamaicans. That was the shower posse gang. That shit was literally happening while they was making the movie about that shit.
The joint with LL in Too Deep. Michael Bivins was like, that didn't happen. I forgot where it took place in that
It
movie.
was in
Michael
Boston.
Bivins,
It was
he was like,
that was
that was
in
in Boston. They took
yeah.
over our projects. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
All
a
this
real
shit is
thing in
real.
Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. Art imitates life. All of this shit is real. Flossie, Jarita, we talked about that. No, this is what Jarita said. It's my time of the month. And Flossie says, not by my calendar. That lets you know that Flossie is about her bread. She knows when Jarita's supposed to be on her cycle and the whole nine.
She's
So
a woman.
Flossie, yeah. But also I 100% believe she has those girls' cycles marked on her calendar.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but that's
I
a woman's
100%.
brain. That's a woman's brain.
Yeah.
If you're a
Yeah,
woman and
yeah.
you're a pimp, you're gonna look into shit like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, you can't go out on red because you fucking up my money, you bitch. You're on you on the bench tonight. That's probably the only time them whores get a night off. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Juke tells Kanan that Rock didn't have Famous taken out. So now there's a reason for this also. I don't know what it is that separates Juke and Kanan. I don't know what it is that causes Juke to go down her path, but the strands of their bond are starting to unravel. You know how Juke felt like they show it early as fuck in the very first episode of Power when Kanan get his ass whooped at the park as a kid and Rock put them batteries in that fucking sock and told him to go back down there, and like Juke was right there with Kanan the whole way.
Yeah.
Their bond is like this. The strands of that bond are starting to unravel. We're watching it in real time.
Yeah.
One of Kanan's delivery boys gets knocked off his scooter by Marvin. And shit went dummy from here. Rock got Marvin beating the shit out of old boy. Marvin, and you could see it in Marvin's face. He didn't want to do that shit. He was like, yo, this ain't necessary, this, that, and the third. Rock like, keep hitting this nigga. And then Rock put, what, how many shots into him? 3, 4?
4.
Yeah. Rock empty the clipping dude. And then she makes, I don't know, do y'all want to call this a mistake or just like was it the adrenaline or like why now? I think
I
this
think
is
of a
secret
lot of
you
it
so
was the adrenaline, but she also seemed the only person that she has on her side was starting to slip away from her, which is Marvin. and I need to get you back on track. You doing all
Yeah,
this shit talking about fucking unique. It wasn't unique. It was Kanan.
Kanan.
Now,
Right.
Kanan
did
killed
she
Lou.
think that he was gonna go try to kill him? Probably not.
Rock had to be
She
out of her. We said it. We said it early on when we talked about it, like in our second episode covering this show. We said if Marvin found out, and Sturl, you specifically said this.
yeah, for sure.
You said Rock is not gonna. There's no way Rock tells him because if Marvin finds out, he's going to try to kill Kanan, which he 100% did. When Kanan opened the door, Marvin had that motherfucker drew back. There was no talking, no preamble. Kanan opened that door and Marvin went nuts on his ass. Did you catch what Marvin said to him?
Hell yeah. You didn't have a
He was like,
daddy in your life,
Daddy
so
around to
now
beat your ass, so I'm gonna
yes,
put you in the ground.
so I'm gonna be the one to
Yeah.
put you in the ground. Yeah.
That was crazy.
He was there with it.
Mar-
He was 100% there with it.
I've seen people online say they rewound watched that they rewound it and watched that shit like 5-6 times in a row. Um, Juke stops it, and then Marvin tells Juke that Kanan killed Lou. Marvin put Kanan through the glass table and told him, if you're looking for your nigga on the scooter, he's dead, just like you go be.
I seen a motherfucker say that's the ass whooping Ghost should have gave Tyreek.
Tariq, yep, saw that too. Saw that too. There's no turning back. We are at that point of no return. We are 100% at the point of no return. There is no going back for the Thomas family. Like, the build to this, credit to Sasha Penn in the writer's room, because the way they built to this was absolutely excellent. It's crazy that Lou had to go down to tear the Thomas family apart, but the way they built to this was excellent. When Marvin and Rock walked out of Flossie apartment and Rock started talking all that shit, and he was like, yo, Pop's been gone a long time. Mom's gone. Lou gone. He was like, you all I got at this fucking point.
Yeah.
And he was
It's
like,
just us, he said.
he said, you're my little sister, Raquel, and I'm supposed to look out for you. And when you say that shit, it hurts me. And
Mhm.
for a moment, I looked in Rock eyes and I was like, I think this nigga Marvin might have got to her. I think
Yeah.
she's understanding. At that point, we start to see Marvin pulling back a little bit from this. Like, I
Mhm.
understand this is the business, this, that, and third, but a lot of this shit, I don't know if my heart is in it anymore.
Right.
Juke, like, I want to move weight. Juke, I don't want you in this life. Well, come on, fuck it. Work at the bar, Juke. Now Juke, like, no, I want my own crew. I want to move weight. I'm either gonna do it with you or I'm gonna do it with somebody else. Marvin is reluctantly 1 foot in and 1 foot out at this point. Tell me I'm wrong.
No,
Yeah,
I
no.
agree.
And Rock sees that. That's why Rock did
Mhm.
what she
And
did.
that's you're
She
right. That's what she did to pull him back in. To pull him back in. Um, does Rock want Kanan dead?
I don't think she
at
wants
this
him dead.
at this point, I don't think she really knows. At this point, I
I'm
Fair.
think
with you.
she's
Because
at the
she
point
had
where
to
the
know
game is the game.
game. Yeah, she had to know. Like, what the fuck did she think Marvin was going to do with that information besides try to do? Marvin went into a burning building to save Lou.
Right.
To save Lou. And then Marvin got in a rusty old ass Mr. T 18 van and sprayed up a mall parking lot on
Mhm.
behalf of Lou. I don't know
Yeah.
what Rock thought was gonna happen.
At this point, I don't think she really knows what's going on. Is she gonna play butthurt that Marvin beat him the fuck up like this? I could see that being the beginning of this episode. But at the end of the day, like we saying, you had to have known.
Yeah.
You had to have known what you was doing. But
It's just killing me
Or
though.
if you're gonna be in the game, you can't afford to lose Marvin. He's all you
True.
got.
Yeah.
that's true. That
It's
is
killing me
100%
because
true.
like she used to like in the very beginning, she always had 3 backup plans. You know, she always had 3 backup plans, but now in this season, it's like every time she makes a move, it's just the wrong move over and over and over again. Like
Yep.
she's not as
Have you
untouchable as she used to be.
have you ever played Red Dead Redemption 2?
No.
Have you played the original?
No.
Okay, so
But
2 is a
I do
prequel.
see videos of people playing it.
So 2 is a prequel to the first one, right?
Okay.
So when you start off in 2, you already know that John and Dutch end up like in the outs, and Dutch commits suicide to avoid going to jail, this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
And John keeps saying Dutch went crazy. Bill and Jose, Bill and Javier like abandoned him. And we're like, well, how the fuck did we get here? It's just like with this. Ghost kill Breeze, Kanan and Ghost, this, that, and the third. How the fuck did we get here? How did Kanan become Kanan? So what you said about Rock is exactly what everybody says about Dutch. We know that
Mhm.
Dutch lost his marbles at some point. We just don't know how we got there. So if
Yeah.
you play Red Dead Redemption, you periodically see Dutch, just like you said about Rock. Dutch had 3 backup plans for everything initially. Then at
Mhm.
the end, he was just playing people against each other, coming up with stupid ass plans, walking out on his friends when they were about to get killed and shit like that. Rock is in her Dutch Vanderlyn era right now.
That
So
makes sense.
Rock dying at the being killed at the end of this season totally makes sense.
Yeah.
If you just go to YouTube and search Red Dead Redemption Dutch Vanderlyn, it'll break it down, and then you'll be like, okay, now I get the comparison. It's the
Yeah.
same exact thing. I've seen it happen before. Same
Yeah.
exact thing. It's no different than Anakin not having a plan but not wanting Padme to die. So he's like, fuck it, I'll join the dark side. I'll become Darth Vader. He didn't know he was gonna be fucking burnt in molten lava an hour later, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he was willing to do whatever it took to save his wife and his unborn kid, which turned out to be kids, the Skywalker twins. So I'm not surprised because I've seen this play out in other mediums previously. It's gonna be a sad day when they put Patina Miller down, man. It's gonna be a sad, sad day when Rock go.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's coming soon.
It is coming soon. This is the like again, this episode is the point of no return. Everything we saw in this episode is to get us to the season finale. That little girl is the reason Marvin goes to jail. I almost guarantee that. Almost guarantee it.
You've had a really good record of predictions, so I'm gonna go with that too.
Yeah, I do because they can't. That girl has no reason to still be, a part of the show
Yeah,
unless there's a payoff coming there. There's a payoff coming. They keep
absolutely.
showing this little girl, and she keep telling them, Uncle Marvin, the police asked me again. I'm not saying the girl is wearing a wire, but if they could get a wire planted on anybody and get away with it, it would be her because Marvin would never check that girl for a wire. He just wouldn't.
Right.
He absolutely wouldn't. Now we got Breeze believing that Rock killed DEFCON behind snaps and pops. You know they did that shit. Now Juked and told Kanan, Rock did not have famous killed. The cops then told Kanan, we didn't fucking kill nobody for your mom. What the fuck you talking about? So all this is gonna come back around.
Yeah.
There's gonna be bullets handed out like roses. Kanan's bullet is taken out, snaps and pop. Breeze's
Y-
bullet takes out Rock. Marvin ends up in
in
metal
jail.
in handcuffs. Yeah,
Yep.
And then the only thing that we haven't figured out yet is which one of the Italians is living.
is gonna go. Does Flossie get killed too? We know Jarita's fake. Okay, I forgot to mention, we know Jarita survives because Kanan goes to see her when he gets out of jail. Sean takes him over to the house because he
Hmm.
fucks Jarita. And we found the thing about Jarita is we know that she is 100% loyal because I got a cousin that went and did time in the feds and he left $40,000 in cash between his mother and my grandmother. And when he got home, all that money was gone. It was in Nike shoe boxes.
Yeesh.
Every penny was gone. Oh, well, some bills came up and then this happened. Well, how much was the bills? I only took like 500 out, Joe. I don't know what happened. $40,000 and all bills was gone. Gone. When Kanan came home, Jarita had every dime that Kanan gave her before he went away. So her looking in the mirror and saying she can't do this shit no more, all of that makes perfect sense. They are writing us back into the original power. But because they're doing that, we never heard of snaps and pops in the original power. They gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
Kanan only mentions Rock once. I came here straight after visiting my mom's. We don't know if that meant he really went to see her or went to the cemetery. So Rock is either gonna get shot or get killed or paralyzed. But something bad is happening to Rock.
Yeah.
Snaps and Pop have to go. They
Yeah.
100% have to go.
Yeah.
We're at the point of no return. We are at the point of no return. My only question is this where Juke and Kanan's relationship starts to deteriorate? And then do we
Well, it's
see
gonna
the final?
deteriorate, but I think he still finds out from her about Snaps and Pop.
Would it be hard for you to go around if you were Juke? Would it be hard for you to go around Kanan now knowing that he killed Lou?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, until you find out, because at
That it
this
was an
point,
accident.
that's what I'm saying. At this point, they just
Mhm.
going around thinking that he killed Luke. Eventually, it's gonna have to come out that it was an accident.
Accident,
Right.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you think she'll actually listen for him to explain that it was an accident?
Well,
I
see,
don't think so.
in this
It would have
lifestyle,
to be Rock has to be that has to come from Rock because she
Right?
told Marvin that it was Kanan that pulled the trigger. And
Yeah.
let's be real, we all saw it. It 100% was an accident. Kanan had a
Mhm.
fucking gun in his hand and he heard a noise behind him. He turned around and the first instinct was to fucking shoot.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it don't matter. In this
It
lifestyle
doesn't
that they
matter. No.
live, what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, in this lifestyle that they live, you got to have family. All of them are dying off. Eventually, it's just going to be Kanan and Juke.
Kanan, Juke, Sean, and Jarita. That's it.
Sean
Right.
and Jarita don't count. They ain't in the lifestyle. Sean
But
was
as far
soft
as
as him.
true, he was Ghost Driver. But
Yeah. But
at
far
this
as
point, it's just
motherfuckers
Kanan and
doing
Juke.
shit and pulling shit, eventually it's going to be in that family, Juke and Kanan. So whether they fuck with each other or not, you're going to have to. Juke obviously goes
Well,
off and does police
they
shit.
didn't fuck with each other for a while because when Kanan showed up, Juke had a lot of fucking questions. Number one, where's Sean? And then when Kanan started, like, when the girl was watching after Kanan while Juke was out at work, he started mumbling about seeing ghosts. He ain't talking about seeing no fucking ghosts. He talking about a nigga we used to know named Ghost. So then Juke has these questions for Kanan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just them at this fucking point. It's just them at this point. Lou getting killed that early felt crazy in hindsight, but now it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It had to happen.
Lou's death was the linchpin for all of this to work. That
Especially
was
for
the
this to
only
only be a eight episode order. You
series
had to
order.
get to it
Yeah,
fast. You had to get to it
fast,
real fast.
very fast. When you text me, it was like, yo, they are not playing. I'm like, damn, what the fuck happened? I turned it on and Lou got killed. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nigga, I took a sip of my water and Lou got shot. What the fuck are we doing here? They had to move fast.
Yeah.
They had to move fast. You listened yesterday, I know, when Ice was like, they going too fast. I don't know. Like, Ice, what show are you watching? I don't know where they got that from. That made no sense to me. Like, nah, they moving too fast. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they moving
This the final
fast for
season.
certain people, but it's the final season and it's only 8
Season.
episodes.
What
You ain't got
did
no
he
choice.
think? Yeah, I don't know. Ice is bugged the fuck out. I don't know. Who's dying next? The Italians?
One of the Italians died next, and then yeah, Marvin probably goes to jail before Rock dies.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if Rock gets killed, knowing where Marvin is mentally and emotionally right now, if Rock gets killed and Marvin is a free man at the time, he would definitely take Breeze and Kanan out. So
Yeah.
Marvin does have to go to jail for Rock to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way it makes sense for Breeze and Kanan to survive, especially after what he just did to Kanan.
Yeah. So
How the
Marvin in
fuck?
the next 2 episodes go to jail. One of the Italians die in the next episode. The second to last episode, I see Pops and oh
I feel
boy,
like Snaps and Pops have to be the last kill. I think Kanan finds out in the penultimate that they killed Crystal and that they were behind Famous getting killed too.
Rock is
But
the
I
last
think
kill.
you
If
think,
Rock
oh, that
dies,
would make sense.
If Rock dies,
That would make sense.
she was the last kill. So, yeah, I see Snaps and Pops second to last episode. Rock,
Well, wait a
whatever
minute.
happens to
I'm
her.
trying. Okay, let's go back to the very first episode. Do we see young Kanan or do we see Rock for? We see young Kanan because he got his ass whooped and then went and told Rock, and then Rock sent him up there with the
I
batteries
mean,
in the
at the
side.
end of it's the Kanan show, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I was just trying to remember. Generally, some shows will kill people off in the order that they appeared when the show started. So I was thinking that could be a possibility, but we know
yeah,
Kanan's not going to die till like
yeah,
what, the fourth or fifth season of Power.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
he's intricate in the next shit because he starts with Ghost, Tommy, and Bree. So he's not going. Rock is
Yeah. Well, we know that.
Rock is the final kill for sure. She's the second most important person to the whole
It would. You
fucking.
know what? It would essentially. So the show is called Raising Kanan, but at the same time, Tariq and Kanan's parallels are that they both kill. I believe. I don't think Breeze kills her now. I think Kanan kills Rock. No, but why would see? Here's the thing. What if Kanan kills? No. What if Kanan kills Rock and then finds out that it wasn't Rock who was responsible for Crystal and Famous, and then because that would then provided that Rock is dead, right? And Kanan gets out in the OG power and says, I just, and goes to Tasha, what you doing here? Oh, I just stopped off to see my mom's and then I came straight here. So then Kanan going to the cemetery would make sense. You got to remember, he knows for sure that she killed D Wiz. He just, because of D Wiz as well, Lou killed D Wiz, but Rock called for the hit. Because of the D Wiz hit, Kanan 100% believes she would have Famous killed and she would
Power
have
ain't
killed
stupid, so
Crystal.
that will means the writers ain't stupid. They've made fucked up decisions in the first Power with how they
Well, it
did
wasn't
certain
fucked up
shit.
at the time. It wasn't fucked up. They didn't know that there was going to be a prequel. That's what the issue is. Now, the easiest way to solve this, just like I just watched Many Saints of Newark last night, the Sopranos prequel. The easiest thing to do, there are communities who talk about these shows 24/7. If you in the writer's room don't want to go back and watch the original show to make sure you have everything right from there, just go online. These communities exist. They
If
could
Rock
figure it out.
if Rock goes before Snaps and Pops, you damn near get a boycott of the show. She's way too loved. You see what happened with Luke. If Rock, she's the second most important part of the show. If she goes before,
Here, remember, Ghost went with like 4 episodes left because in the last 3 episodes, they replayed Ghost's death from every fucking point of view.
that's the fuck
So
up that they made.
that's true. So you're saying that they have to learn, they would learn from that mistake.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. And the only thing that saved them from that and not bringing him back is they actually made all these extra ass shits that was coming outside of it. And then he wasn't coming back anyway. So you had to kill him because the only reason he didn't come back was because of contract negotiation.
Yeah, they definitely want him to come back, but the money that they offered wasn't enough for him.
He said it was like a slap in the face. So you had to
It
get rid of him.
was, yeah.
So yeah, and then you seen the kickback that they got from Unique. That's why they eventually had to bring him back.
Well, that was more on Joey's end. He said once the shit happened, he was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that because he was like, I got to go on tour. And then he started to see the reaction to Unique being quote unquote dead. And he was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have did that. So he hit them like, yo, is it any possible way that I could not be dead? And they was like, yo, let us know if you serious or not. And he was like, yeah, fucking, I'm serious. I get what you're saying. Rock should be the last kill. My only
Absolutely.
reason to put her in front of Snaps and Pop is because unless Breeze kills Snaps and Pop, if he finds out they lying to him, they have to go regardless. But it makes more sense for it to be Kanan
If they find out,
because
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they find out, it's either going to be Kanan or it's going to be both of them because Kanan breaks it to him that they've been lying this whole time.
ooh, can you imagine that? If Breeze find out they lied to him? Because Kanan doesn't know that DEF CON is gay. Kanan only knows that Howard is his father.
Hmm.
It just, the only reason I would say Rock before Snaps and Pop is because unless Breeze kills Rock. If you kill Rock, if you kill
If Breeze killed
Kanan,
Rock, Kanan would damn near kill Breeze.
do we really believe that? I
Yep,
think Kanan
I
hates
do.
Rock more than Rock hates Kanan.
Yeah, for sure.
I still don't think that that's going to give a motherfucker the pass to kill her. He's hated her all this time, but he saved her at
He
one point
gave
already.
he just gave Stefano the okay to kill her. Stefano told her, like, yeah, it's about to get ugly with your moms. And he was like, do what you got to do. He gave Stefano the okay to kill Rock.
I don't see it. It's going to come from somebody outside of Kanan.
My only thing, again, is you can kill them in any order. You really could. I get why you think you're not wrong. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. Let me be very clear about that. Rock could very well be the last kill, but Breeze and Snaps and Pops could also very well be the last kill. The order doesn't necessarily have to matter, but it also does have to matter, if you get what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your point is extremely valid. My only point is, if they don't even care to connect it back to the OG power, there's got to be a reason for Kanan to kill Snaps and Pop. Just like you said, Marvin has to go to jail before Rock gets killed, because Marvin would have definitely put Kanan or Breeze down for killing his little sister. We've already established that.
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense if Rock goes before Snaps and Pops. Because if you look at it like this, think about the MCU. The whole time they taking care of these other villains, and they don't know that Thanos is in the background orchestrating all of this. First, they thought it was Loki, the Battle of New York, and then they took Loki down, and it was like, oh, it's a great day. No, it's not. Then we get all these other smaller villains pop up in all these different films. And the whole time in the background, it was Thanos orchestrating everything. I was wrong for saying Breeze was Power's Thanos. This is just the first version of the Power multiverse saga. Snaps and Pops are Thanos. They have to go last. I get what you're saying. Rock is the second most important character because she's been here the whole time and she's given a ton of gravitas and exposition. I still think it matters more if the last shot is Kanan reflecting on the fact that Lou is dead, Marvin's in jail, and Rock is dead, and all because he fucking believed Snaps and Pop. Because remember, Lou got killed because Kanan went to the house to take out Rock, and then Lou and the fucking security guard showed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason Lou is dead.
That's true.
I think Snaps and Pop have to be the last kill. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
We got
Yeah,
3
it's gonna be
episodes left.
interesting. 3
Yep.
fucking episodes, man. What a way to go. Do you remember where we were when we got to the last 3 episodes of Euphoria? What was the last? So Nate getting bitten by the snake, and then Alamo, Rue overdosing, and Alamo, Ali avenging her. What was the third? What was the episode before that? Before, like,
Oh man. No, Nate died the second to last episode, right?
Nate died in the penultimate episode. I'm trying to remember what was the
Okay.
episode
And then
before that.
before that, was it Cassie deleted her OnlyFans
I think
that
so.
episode, or was it the one before that episode?
I think it's
This was
right
the
around
fourth or
there.
the third to last. Yeah, so she deleted her OnlyFans around that time. Nate got
Nate went in the box. This the penultimate episode.
yeah, Nate
Eh,
well,
Yeah,
it didn't
because
show
the last
it didn't show him dying until
it did.
an episode
The very
after.
No, the very end of the episode, they used that crane to get him out of the ground, and when they opened the box, he was already dead.
Right, but when
And
they
then
put
when
him in, that was a different episode.
you might be right about that. I'm just saying the finale was
Yeah.
like a few short months after.
Mhm.
The finale does time jumps because it starts with Rue getting out of the house and all that, and then we get the ending that we get. There was
And
like
then
two or three
Maddie goes to
Alamo's
Alamo
Club.
for help.
That was in the
That
penultimate episode. That
was
was in
it
the
the
penultimate
penultimate or
episode.
was it the third to
Yes.
last?
That was the penultimate because they pick up the finale. Maddie and Cassie are in the diner and they know
Mhm.
Nate is dead at this point, and Maddie's crying more than Cassie is. There's like two different time jumps in the finale. Remember,
Yeah.
Rue got the feds to show up to Lori's house. Lori committed suicide. All that stuff
Mhm.
happened in the finale. Rue was dead halfway. We weren't even halfway through the finale when Rue died.
Right.
So there's time jumps. What I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out is we're at the third to last episode.
Yeah.
Who had the better 3-episode run to the end? Euphoria
Oh.
or Raising Kanan is my question. We're about to find out.
Yeah.
Euphoria's final 3 episodes are hard to beat.
Yeah.
When we get to the end of the year and we do our superlatives for the podcast, the best streaming show is going to come down to Raising Kanan and Euphoria, and I might have to flip a coin for my vote. I don't know. It depends. It depends on if they can stick the landing. If they can
Mhm.
stick the landing here, wrapping up Marvin's story, wrapping up Rock's story, and getting Snaps and Pops the fuck out of here. If they
Yeah.
stick the landing correctly, I might go with Power. I don't know. But there is one caveat, and that's Breeze. Breeze can't do no goofy shit for these last 3 episodes because he will fuck it up for them.
Mhm. Yeah, Breeze is definitely that he's the one that's going to tip it
Yeah.
either way.
And I'm not mad at Shamik Moore. The more I think about it, maybe he wasn't the right person for that role.
Okay.
If y'all could have anybody else play Breeze, who would it be?
Just hard to say.
I don't even know.
I'm trying to think of some young actors. Young black actors. Fuck.
You also got to look at the age. Um, Someone that can not only play that role, but you also got to look at the price range too. Power ain't just breaking motherfuckers off big money. So
No,
you
they're
ain't gonna
not.
get no A, damn near no B list actors for it either. That's the only problem.
Well, look at it like this. We saw one person go from the Power universe to the BMF universe in Lala. Who do you think from BMF that could have portrayed
BMF
Breeze
has the
better?
worst motherfucking actors in the world. Not none of them
They
niggas.
really do. Miles Truitt is probably the best one. Miles Truitt might be the best one.
And that nigga's 6'5", so no.
No, Miles Truitt, he was B. Mickey. Remember, he was young Ronnie DeVoe
Oh,
in the New
okay.
Edition story.
Yeah.
He's probably the best actor on that was on BMF.
And nah.
I tell you who, crazy enough and talented enough, the nigga that played Lamar low-key could have been Breeze. The only problem is he looks too much older than Kanan.
Yeah, way older. Way older.
That's the only problem. Meech and Terry are terrible actors. The dudes playing Meech and Terry, like, Lil Meech and Da Vinci, they're terrible actors. You know what? B.
I
Mickey
was
doesn't come off menacing enough.
I was looking at The Wire. The dude that played
Michael,
Michael.
Tristan. What's my guy name? Mac Wilds.
Mac
Mac
Wilds.
Wilds, I see right here now. Yeah.
But
The
he
way he
owned the
tapped into
motherfucker too.
Michael,
He
Yeah.
owned the motherfucker though.
he looks young though.
He
He
looks
looks
hella
younger than he
young.
is. Mac
looks
Wilds
young.
probably could have done Breeze some justice. The way he tapped into Michael was elite.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about Michael in The Wire. And I was like, that could be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he'd have killed that role.
I can see it.
But he is older, but he looks really young.
The funny thing is, when I remember them talking about Breeze and OG Power, it always felt like Breeze was supposed to be a little bit older than them.
They did give him an OG feel. He put us on in the game, which this Breeze is older. He's older than Kanan because
He's not that much.
Kanan is older
Yeah.
than Ghost and Time.
Yeah, because
Yes, but he's
he
not
even
that much older
he's
because
not
he
that much
says
older.
he's like DEFCON was with my moms and then your moms. Him and Kanan are only supposed to be separated by like 2 years or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. How much older is Breeze than Kanan?
Like realistically,
Oh,
if Bre-
hell no. Okay, so they say Breeze is supposed to be 4 to 5 years older than Kanan.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Okay.
So then then it definitely doesn't look good. Look, I don't know how old Mekhi Curtis is. Shamik Moore's got to be pushing 30 or something.
no, Makai Curtis just literally turned 25 in January. I
That's
was
what I
just looking
thought.
it up because old girl Juke is 26 no, she's 27. So
He's
he's 25.
25. How old is Shamik Moore? He's 31. But he doesn't play like he does not come off. He definitely, I don't know.
Truth be told, the role that Unique should have been,
Damn near 40.
well, not even just that. Unique should have been Breeze. He played
That's
a
what everybody
crazy
thought.
he played a
That's what
crazy
everybody thought in the
Unique,
beginning.
but as much as Breeze plays a role in this, if he would have came in earlier, if they would have introduced him
Mhm.
earlier, he plays the best Unique. I mean, best Breeze to
Yeah.
me.
The first season, that was all the question on Reddit is Unique is Breeze. Unique got to be Breeze. And then people was like, no, it's Symphony. It's Symphony. He laid
And you know
back
who
and
else would have?
he's
You know
smart.
who else could have did it? Just
Who?
off of his what he played in Dope, which, funny enough,
ASAP
oh
Rocky.
boy, ASAP Rocky could have been Breeze.
Rocky. He sure in the fuck could. Yeah. And that would have made more sense based on the way he played the role in Dope when Shamik Moore was the youngin'. That actually makes sense. It was a lot like, and I'm not trying to shit on Shamik Moore. Now I'm wondering, was he their first call? Was he the first call they made for that role?
Hmm.
I don't know, man. These last 3 episodes, man, let's lock the fuck in. It's gonna be a ride. As
Yeah.
y'all heard it, we will have our superlatives at the end of the year. Um, Best film, best streaming TV show, best video game, best album, all that good stuff. Um, it's gonna be hard to knock Power and Euphoria out of there. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we will vote as a panel, and we will include outside community votes as well. We're gonna go ahead and put this thing to bed, but y'all lock in because these last 3 episodes are gonna be something. The bodies, we know Snaps and Pop are gone. Marvin is more than likely going to jail. Do we see what really causes Juke to kind of start to turn, or is it Marvin going to jail? Because at that point, if Rock is gone, Marvin goes to jail, Rock is dead, Juke and Kanan are all they have.
And her and Kanan's relationship clearly begins
It's
to
gonna be
sever and
strained
deteriorate, and she starts her own crew because that same crew that she starts now, she has them motherfuckers with her in OG Power
in the beginning.
because she
Does
has
the
a
det- is
crew of dirty cops that's with her
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
shit because old boy that killed Kanan's,
Ray Ray,
yeah, he's a
Tariq's
dirt,
sister,
yeah.
Ray Ray.
So she has dirty cops and she still got her own street crew that she deal with.
Is this detective gonna be the one who convinces Juke to become a cop?
Has to be.
Yeah, it
Okay.
has to be. It has to be.
Okay. So we all on the same page there. Good enough. All right, man. We
So
gonna go ahead.
just really quick, according to the Nocturnal, Shamik Moore was the production's first and only choice. He said that he didn't even audition; it was just a straight offer.
That is
So
insane.
yeah, they just was like, "That's the one." And apparently,
It had so
there
from what
were
that tells me,
predictions saying Mac Wilds, even Joey Badass would be
a
Breeze
better
instead of
breeze.
yeah, even other people predicted it would be them instead of Shamik Moore. But yeah,
So him not even having to audition tells me that they absolutely loved what he did as Raekwon on the Wu-Tang Show,
Yep.
because that's the only thing that puts him within that same realm.
yeah,
Not
that's gotta be
necessarily,
why.
not necessarily. It was on some dance shit, but he was the street version of the dancers and shit
In the come up,
in
or
the come up.
with the come
The
yeah. I
the
could
get
see
down
that,
or
but
the get
the
down
get
or
down, the get down,
yeah.
the get down. I could see that, but when we talking about what Breeze as a character is supposed to convey, and especially at that time, you gotta remember, if this season is taking place 93, 94, the first Wu-Tang album literally came out November of
90
93. 93.
93,
Yes.
yeah.
Enter the 36 Chambers and A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders, they both came out the last Tuesday of that November. So him being Raekwon in that era,
Pushed it
I
over the
think
top.
they I think they probably felt that it translated right over because it's the same era, it's New York, but Raekwon was a lot flyer than Breeze. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that goddamn Burberry suit in the last episode. Burn that shit. Burn that shit. But I just that's crazy. Again, they saw what he did as Ray and was like, this could be our Breeze. But I do think a lot of people thought they were just waiting, like, watch, he gonna say his nickname Breeze. A lot of people thought that Unique was Breeze. I
Yeah,
remember seeing that all on Reddit during the first season. Like, it's
yeah.
gotta be him. He older than Kanan, this, that, and the third. Yeah, this is interesting. All right, man.
Anyways.
Well, yeah, we gonna put this to bed. It looks like we these next 3 weeks are gonna be very, very interesting. So y'all know we'll be here with y'all to finish this thing out. We've already given y'all our predictions. I think that something's got to start paying off in this next episode. So we gonna see y'all real soon.
Yeah.
As always, I'm Derrick Daniel Ocean. That's Awesome Amy. That's Big Money Sturl. We are just three members of Pause Menu Society. We will holler at y'all later. Peace. Peace out.
Bye.